course, we are going to be showing you the whole process of designing a character for a game. We will be collaboratively taking you through a journey from the initial brainstorm board all the way to the final presentation. We are all artists at NFAR. I'm Ilse, and I'm from the Netherlands. I'll be doing the character concepting in my part.
And I'm Mish. I'm an American 3D artist that's currently living in Sweden. I'll be taking Ilse's concept and translating it into a 3D game-ready character.
And I'm Pedro. I'm an artist from Brazil, and I'll be doing the final illustration of the character.
We were given a task, which was to design a character from a game of our own idea conception. So it was like really, really open-ended to begin with. And this was the end result of our first brainstorm session where we kind of landed on just a basic idea for Ilse to start making more solid character concepts from. So in the very beginning, we wanted to give it a bit of structure, and we kind of came up with this idea since we're kind of making like a course for people that are learning. We thought it'd be cute to do like a character that was still like an apprentice of some kind, or like they're in a profession where they're obviously still like pretty young and like learning. You'll see from our boards that they're not necessarily like a shy or like studious type. They can be all kinds of different people. They're just a bit naive in like a certain profession. To begin with, we had like a list of interesting ideas that were just like phrases and words for different characters. And we took a few of the more interesting ones on that list, which are listed here, and started to kind of branch out more on each of them. So we have the wish collector, a rebellious reaper's kid, a little bit edgy, a godly tea brewer, which we ended up going with in the end, as you can see from all the
Beautiful
doodles and
drawings.
stuff. Yeah, and a Scandinavian seer.
One of the first ideas that came to mind was the wish collector. It would be a character that is sort of an apprentice, just like the others, and their goal is to collect the wishes from humans and make sure they get delivered to the right business area so they can be processed for actual fulfilling. So they have a pretty important task that they want to do right. For this world, we kind of imagined a bit emphasis on the bureaucracy of things, so it's a lot more structured and academic. And in the game setting, we imagine this as you being the character that travels from this bureaucratic city to the world of humans to collect their wishes. But the way to do that, you need to get to know the human a bit more, and you need to really be able to read their heart and know what their wish really comes down from, to be able to extract it from them. So it's a sort of life sim in a way as well, where you need to target a specific person and get to know as much as possible from them before you can even take their wish and bring it upon the organization. So that would be your entire goal during the game. Yeah, the character would be a bit of a fun-spirited young person that's not necessarily aligned too well to the rules and do their own ways of doing things. So you have to manage between the rules of the academy and your own ways of doing things, and try not to get scolded for your mistakes, and do the best that you can.
I think we talked a lot about this kind of like surreal world that they would live in too, where it's kind of like parallel with the human world. We really loved it as like a visual idea, but it didn't really feel that interesting as a playable game.
This one, out of all the options, I think it was the most aggressive character we had in mind. All the other ones, they didn't have weapons necessarily, which is cool. I think it's a good thing that we went to that direction eventually. But it's always fun to go to the edgy, aggressive type of character. see where it goes. Basically, it's all about the character being rebellious about his dad.
Mhm.
We had the first idea of him being the Green Reaper's kid, but then we kind of went to a pirate setting. So
Yeah, we went a little off
we
the rail.
basically the premise is a character that is kind of evil, kind of edgy, maybe not necessarily super evil, but he wants to maybe show his dad his worth.
Yeah, I think this character had too much focus on its being like a cool character and what their relationship is towards the father than to think about what the game could even be. So we went way too deep into just the character design itself, visually and personality wise, that the game aspects became just a bit of an afterthought, and we felt like it didn't roll as well because of that reason. So although we loved the character that we brainstormed, it didn't fit for the game design as well, just like the Wish
Yeah.
Collector.
hmm This one we got like pretty far along into though, because we felt like there's a lot of potential. But then yeah, we realized like in a game setting, like we just had like so many different ideas for what they could do in the game itself, but it didn't feel cohesive. And yeah, just got
Yeah,
too
there was
messy after
just
that.
like pirates, but also edgy teenagers and
Also like
reapers.
pyromancy.
We had
Yeah.
a lot of fun, but it wasn't cohesive at all.
Yeah, it
No.
wasn't going anywhere. Yeah, so our last idea was for this like Scandinavian seer, and basically she's trying to learn the mystical art of like seeing and prophesizing and like speaking with the gods, and like a kind of Viking-ish setting. But she's like really terrible at the job because she's just struggling with a lot of, social anxiety and just generally being a teenager. Um, so like she has this like really important role in her village and she's like the only one. She's supposed to be the next one in line and she just like um can't really like her personality just didn't really fit with the role. So yeah, we were thinking she would be like this cute kind of like ditzy character that's just like always nervous, Um, and the theme would be a bit more like dark and like Viking-ish and stuff, and it would be like a good contrast. But yeah, with this one, like there really was no like interesting gameplay we could really attach to her. Like she felt almost more like an NPC or like an interesting character you might meet in a game. So we decided to scrap this one pretty quick, but
It's a
still
cool
think it's a cute
premise for a
idea.
movie
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So the third idea we had it was for a godly tube brewer. We imagined this character to be someone who lives between the human plane and the god's plane, and they are like invited every year for some sort of annual showcasing of new tea that they made during the year when they were on Earth. They would work all year to create the perfect blend, and then you have to present it to the actual gods. We took inspiration from these images that felt a bit more connected to nature. Really imagined this character being close and down to earth and living in not necessarily the house, but traveling a lot over all of Earth to find the right ingredients, and maybe not even Earth, but there could also be just a whole different world in where there's lots of danger, and this character needs to traverse everything to find the best and the highest grade ingredients to create the best tea. And in the game itself, this would actually be like a rating system where you have to create the best blends and the gods will rate your efforts. And that is the whole point of the game.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think like this image at the top left, like really sold it for us too, where it was like we could see this game being played. Like you're like this character going through these huge like different worlds and like meeting with these like strange gods and trying to figure out what they want and yeah, just like exploring. And that felt like a genuinely fun experience for me, like myself. So I was like pretty sold on the game.
I think this one was the easiest to visualize as a final game.
Mhm.
Yeah, the all ideas of games just came quite naturally afterwards. Because if it's a character that needs to collect, there's some sort of gathering ingredients sort of mechanic already in place. So you need to be traveling these worlds, and making tea is same is sort of like making potions, and that you get a rating system for. And something we added to that was also, since we really like the idea of a character not being a fighter per se, that this would be more of a speedy or sneaky stealth game, either of the two, where you need to traverse very dangerous places to gather ingredients. Uh, but instead of fighting the dangers there, you have to escape them as efficiently as possible. And if you fail, then that's game over. So it's not about fighting; it's running away as fast as you can. So this character needed to feel a bit more roguelike and sneaky and mysterious in that way than like an actual fighter. That seemed more unique to us as well.
Yeah, we also really like the vibe of them being this kind of like overconfident character. Like they're obviously very young and still like learning this trade and stuff, but they're just like super confident in their skills already and just yeah, just like not afraid to take risks.
We gathered some additional references because we started to really like the idea, and some design solutions already started popping up while we were thinking, because these first images we choose, to me at least, are more general moods and interesting inspiration, and we were really inspired by Swedish and Norwegian clothing. We wanted to have an annual fika with the gods.
Yeah, everyone had just had a trip to Stockholm in Sweden. So we were all kind of like thinking about like Swedish things, and like the tea kind of like vibed with fika, which is like a thing here in Sweden where it's kind of like a coffee or a tea break that you take like during the middle of the day. So we just like the phrase like having an annual fika with the gods or something. It was really cute. We also had some ideas for like a teapot familiar, just like another character by your side that she can kind of like have interactions with so you aren't so lonely by yourself. Some kind of teapot felt very fitting.
So in the end, we chose this character as our final concept for the character we would be creating, the three of us. It was the most naturally flowing one that both hit the interesting character personality, the concept, and it being applicable for a game. So it seemed the most natural choice, and we went with that.